Hi there, everyone. Welcome to my series called Reading Reviews, where I talk about the books that I have read during a particular year. This year, for 2020, I've kind of slowed down on my reading because, well, I've been writing a whole bunch, and I will talk about that in all my updates. I do author updates I try to do every Sunday, but because I'm also doing a lot of other things on Sundays, sometimes that doesn't always happen. So I'm trying to get better at doing Sunday posts, but I will be trying to do at least something every Wednesday, which is what these are right now. So today I wanted to talk about a book that I read following a novella that I read last year. And this is Love at Long Last by Silvia Violet. Now, this is technically like the first book of the series, but there is a novella called Love at the Lupine Bakery that is sort of a jumping off point into this series. And this is only the second Silvia Violet book I've read. She does a lot of what's called Omegaverse, so if you are interested in like shifters where the hierarchy of alpha, beta, omega is something that is predominantly shown, then I highly recommend Silvia's books. I gave this one, if I remember correctly, I believe I gave it like 3 stars. I do have to double check in my planner because I have like the memory of a frickin' gnat. I gave it 3 stars, mostly because there was a lot of plot lines that kind of got left behind. Or at least they were kind of glossed over. And it was just super duper super soft. Like, dear Lord, it was like eating fudge, then cotton candy, then drinking an entire gallon of soda. It was so sweet. And while I did enjoy that, and I honestly needed it after a couple of the books that I had read, it didn't like resonate with me as much. It's like I kind of needed a little bit more plot to it, because in this book you have the alpha whose name is Silas. Apparently he is a shifter, I believe a wolf shifter, and he has been looking for his fated mate for a long time, and he ends up running into this young man named Corey. Now instantly these two are all about together, which, okay, but I will say it was very kind of insta-lovey. I kind of wanted a little bit of push and pull, but we didn't really get that. We got a little bit of like Corey not so sure and Silas being super protective of him and pushing him to make his own choice. But every other scene, it was like they could not just stop with each other. And while I do appreciate that, as someone who enjoys smut, I didn't feel enough pull. Like, there wasn't enough holding me there. It's like, it was very surface level. But it was really, really sweet, and I did need it at the time. I needed something a little softer, but I will say that it did make me yearn for some more angst in it. But also, my other biggest problem with it was that the issues that it brought up, like the actual plot, felt kind of swept under the rug. Like, there's this whole plot about Corey finding out that he is a shifter. Unfortunately, he there was no, like, real description of how well, there was, but it was kind of just thrown in there because, okay, let me see if I can actually describe this properly. Supposedly, his mom or his grandmother had gotten with a shifter. That shifter, I don't remember if he died or if he just left. And then XYZ born. And I think it was his mother. I honestly think it was his mother. Who had gotten with a shifter, and then he was born and he has shifter blood. And there was just so much hatred for the shifters coming from his family, especially his uncle, who was one of the biggest antagonists of the story. But a lot of the stuff is very swept under the rug. So that's why it's like I felt like I needed more. But ultimately, I enjoyed it for what I got out of it, which was the very fluffy, very soft feeling from it. So if you're looking for a very soft Omega read, I will say that the sex was quite good in it, and it was also quite frequent. I was quite surprised by that. But it was enjoyable. I don't think I would go back to it, but I might read the next one in the series because it deals with a beta who you meet. But I don't know. I have other books that I'm wanting to read. So that is Love at Long Last by Silvia Violet. If you're interested in reading it, you can find it on Amazon. And I really do recommend it if you're looking for just a very, very soft male-male romance read. All right? So thank you all for watching, and I hope you continue to watch. We did hit 30 subscribers, and I really do thank everyone for coming in and tuning in to all of my random videos, because I'm kind of weird like that. All right, so see you all later. Bye-bye.